My blood type? Did I not tell you what my blood type is? My blood type is blood type S, or Sable. What I was saying though is I went, right? Like, it's like one of those regular things, right? And then the thing for me is like I'm not good with blood. Like, I'm just not good. Like, I'm not good. So like 6 out of 10 times I will like see my blood and I'll be like, oh no, I can't do this. Ah! I'll be like, ah! So to be clear though, I don't feel dizzy or sick, or I don't feel faint when I see other people's blood. Yeah. So I think what it's called is a vasovagal syncope or something like that. But if I'm not mistaken, it's where like if you take out blood and like you get like, whoa, you get like your body's like, ah, yeah, exactly, and then you lose blood pressure, and then all of a sudden like you're like you're like to be fair, it's not when I see my own blood or anything, it's when I get like, you know, blood tests, right? Anything like that. This is, to be fair, this is a very like chill thing. Like, so it's not a big deal, you know what I mean? Like, it is not a big deal, right? Like, you just have to tell like the person, I have had a history of like I have a history of doing that, you know? So like I need you to know that, and they'll be like, okay, sure, and then like it's super chill. This is something like I'm kind of used to. That's a bit of a different thing, but my point is like I'm not new to the feeling of it, you know what I mean? So like if I'm feeling like lightheaded or something, I'm not new to it, you know? Like, it's like it happens occasionally. I know what to recognize. So like, you know what to recognize, and then you just have to like, you know, you just have to work around it. You just have to take care of yourself, and you have to, you know, be aware of, you know, what you're used to, right? It's like the same as like if you have allergies, right? You have to be aware of what you're allergic to, and then you just have to like, you know, watch out for it, like measures against it, like make sure that you're like, hey, this is not something I'm good with. All I'm trying to say is we are a-okay. I remember though, there was one time in Japan where I took like just a regular blood test and stuff. To the person, I was just like, hey, you know, like I was talking about like life and stuff. I was like, yeah, so this is the things, this is what I do, etc, you know, all that kind of stuff. And they're like, cool. And then they're like, okay, next we're gonna take some blood and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I let them know. I was like, yeah, so by the way, just want to let you know. I just want to let you know that like low-key, I don't know how to say this, but when you take my blood, you might take my consciousness. You know, when you take my blood, you might also accidentally take my consciousness. You know, I have a history of yeah, so, you know, I just let them know that like I have a history of and they're like, okay, yeah, don't worry. And then so, you know, they put me, you know, in like the little stretcher thing and stuff, right? And it was pretty cool and whatnot. And so they're like, okay, here's like the bed, and then they'll like stick the needle in, and I'll be like, okay, I can do this, you know, Sable strong. And then they'll, well, hey, you know what? Maybe it is my oomph, okay? Who knows? Like maybe I do have someone that's called little stretcher thing in my, like, I don't know who I follow, okay? Don't judge me. Anyways, as I was saying, as I was like lying down and they were withdrawing some you know, tests and stuff, I was like, hey, actually, you know, I kind of feel good, like I'm chilling. I don't know what came over me. It was pretty bad, but I was like, yeah, I'm kind of chilling, I'm okay, I'm doing good. And then they're like, okay, cool, you can just you know, sit down and relax. You can wait up a little bit. You don't have to you know, push yourself and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, I won't push myself. I'll be chill, I'll be relaxed, you know, I'm doing okay. And then after like a minute or so, it was like, oh, okay, like I feel decent, I feel good. And they're like, okay, yeah, then, you know, you can head out whenever you feel like it. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do so now, right? And then I stand up, and as soon as I stand up, I went and I could feel myself going and I was like, oh, I've never been skydiving, but I feel like I'm ground diving. It wasn't even a solid joke, but I went down joking, okay? I went down joking all the way down to the No, but it wasn't too bad. Like, it wasn't too bad because like they were nearby and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, don't worry. I caught myself on the way down. You know, I wasn't. It's not like automatic. Like, you can still have like, I feel like you have like 30% of your motor functions still going as you're going down. You know, and so like you're not gonna like hit your head or something. Or at least for me, like I wasn't hitting my head or anything, but I was there, you know, I was there for it. I made sure to joke about it because I thought it was hilarious, you know. I had 30% motor function, and in that moment I chose to make a joke on my way down. If I was gonna go down, if I'm going down anyways, I'm gonna joke all the way down, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I roll, okay? That's how I go down. No, but it's like within the same, like, it's within the hospital too, so it's like it's no big deal, you know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, it's not something that like I'm surprised by. It's not something that's even like practically rare or anything. It happens, you know. It's kind of a thing that happens. So like, you know, I was saying it to the like nurses and the doctor as I was going down. Like, I was trying to nail the joke. The thing is, the joke wasn't even that funny, to be honest, which makes it kind of tragic, you know. But like, I feel like it's actually more of a statement, you know? It's like a power play, because who would ever like go down joking, you know? Have you ever seen someone faint while making a joke about them fainting, you know? People just, usually it's just like, see, that's all I'm saying. It's not that crazy. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was fun. You know, the doctor of that clinic, like, they offered me a job. Yeah, no, because like I was talking to that happened. Okay. So basically, this is the same day, by the way. We were not kidding. We were networking while in a stretcher. It's crazy. So I went in there, and I was casually talking to the doctor who was doing the checkup. And the doctor had a very interesting background. This doctor was like, I don't know, this man was actually Barbie, you know. This man was like some next level stuff, right? This man had like gone to, like, he was born in like somewhere, he went to a war zone, he was a doctor, then came back, and then he was in Japan, and like he had some like crazy life stories, right? And I was like, whoa, this is very interesting, you know. He's crazy, right? And then he was like super fluent in Japanese, you know. He was bilingual and a doctor, you know. I'm bilingual, I'm not a doctor though, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I lost, you know. It's not a competition, but like, this man has a you know, doctor's degree, like. And yeah, he was like aura maxing or something. He was the main character energy, to be fair, you know. And it was like his clinic, so it's like, you know, I'm like, okay, because in Japan there's like major hospitals, and then there's like smaller scale clinics and stuff, which are like more localized, and so you don't have to go all the way to like a big hospital unless it's like something important, right? But yeah, like he has his own like private practice, medicine and stuff like that, and he's right next door, so like you can do your general checkups and stuff, and like you're pretty chill. So anyways, I went there, and this is my first time like hanging out with this doctor and stuff. And I was like chatting, and he was like, yeah, this is how I came to be. And I was like, wow, that's insane. Like, and we were switching between Japanese and English. We were doing like the whole like super duper like Nihongo English kind of thing, like. And then so we were chatting, and it's like, yeah, oh, that's crazy. I didn't know you were that's insane. Like, you're awesome. And I'm like, no, you're awesome. You're freaking awesome. Are you kidding me? Like, you were in some crazy places, and then you're here, and then you're doctoring it up, you know. And we were like, at the end of the day, we were doing like the whole Full Metal Alchemist thing, the handshake, you know, the Full Metal Alchemist Armstrong handshake. That's what we were doing right there. That was us, you know, like. So we were like Armstrong Full Metal Alchemist arm shaking, and it's like, whoa, you're bilingual. I'm like, yo, you're bilingual and a doctor. And he's like, yo, you're bilingual and you have a master's. That's crazy. And we're just like camaraderie, right? And I was talking about like, I'm actually finishing this other job. I just finished working there. And he's like, whoa, oh yeah, that's crazy. Like, oh, you're like really close by. And he was like, yeah, do you want to work for me? And I was like, yeah, but I'm not, you know, I don't know, like, I've literally never worked in anything related to medicine, you know what I mean? Like, It was like, oh, yeah. Like, how much was your last pay? And like, he was like, yo, so how much was the pay from like this place? And I was like, well, it was pretty high. Like, it was pretty high for what it was. And he's like, yeah, no worries. I'll match it. Like, I'll beat it. And I was like, yo, whoa. This is the first day I've met this person, you know. This is the first day I've met the doctor, you know. The doctor, like DADOCTOR, the doctor, you know. Like, this one, he was the man, you know. He was the dude. I don't know. And he was like, yeah, no, I'll beat it. And I was like, well, you know, as much as I really appreciate it, like, and he's like, yeah, no, I got you. Like, yeah, like, you can work for me. I'm like, actually, you know, unfortunately. This was also during the time that I was moving. I moved back. That's why. This was one of the opportunities I missed. Cause I was moving countries during that time. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to the States and stuff. He's like, oh, I see. That's no issue. That is what happened. Oh man. Okay, it's like I'm remembering all of the timeline now. To be 100% clear, like, it was not going to be anything like doctor related, you know. It was gonna be some kind of like assistant type of thing where you don't actually have to have any accreditation or any type of like actual certification, right? Something that's like a more menial job that anyone could do. But I think, like, even in conversing, he was kind of like, we were talking about it, and he was like, yeah, I mean, if I can do it, like, you can do it too. Like, so if you want to, like, you can, you know, you can start, like, learning and stuff about, like, this stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't study medicine, dog. You know, like, to be fair, like, if you spent the time and energy, I'm confident that, Senya, you can do anything. You know, like, Senya, you can genuinely do anything, like, genuinely, like, but the only difference is that you just have to take a lot of time and you just have to take a lot of commitment, right? That is all. That is legit all that there is to it. You can do anything you set your mind to. It's just gonna take more or less time, and it's going to be more or less worth it for you. It's going to be more or less valuable for you. So anyways, he was a chill guy. And so that is the conversation that we had. And then we did like blood tests, and then I stood up, and then I went bleh. And as I was going, I was joking all the way down to the ground, right? And then like the nurses helped me out, and the doctor was there, and he was like, hey, you good? I'm like, yep, I'm good, like, don't worry. I saw it coming, we saw it coming, but I'm okay. And he's like, okay, good, awesome. So you sure about it? Like, you sure you don't want... Oh man, I miss that doctor.